All right, so you're going to take that part of the dotted line, and we're going to fold it. To that, we should be able to see our topic for today, which is factoring polynomials, and we're going to talk about specifically by grouping. So polynomial is a case where we've got something like ax squared plus bx plus c. What we're going to be doing, we're going to be asking ourselves what multiplies to the outside and adds to the inside. So it multiplies to the outside and adds to the inside. All right, so when you look underneath the flap, you're going to see these solid lines. You're going to cut just from the bottom up to that fold and then stop. You're not going to cut all the way through. So just from the bottom up to the fold. So now you've got your flaps. All right, so we're going to start looking at our C section, actually. These are our steps. So the first step we're going to do is we're going to find AC. That means we're going to multiply and do A times C. From there, we're going to list the factors of AC. So what numbers multiply together to get AC? And then we say, okay, which of those factors sum to B, that inside term? We're then going to use the factors, the ones that we said add to B, to split BX, that middle term, into two terms. What that's going to do is allow us to group our then four-termed polynomial into two binomials. Step 6 is we're going to factor each group. And then after we factored the groups, we should have a common expression or a common binomial. That you're going to factor out. All right, so those are the steps we're going to take. So let's go under AX. We have an example. X squared plus 15x plus 54. So I'm going to say, okay, what is AC? Well, A is just 1. C is 54. 1 times 54 is 54. What is B? B is that middle term of 15. So now I'm going to list the factors of AC. So 54, I'm just going to do this with a line. We could do 1 and 54. We could do 2 and 27. We could do 3 and 18. We could do 6 and 9. We'll list just those 4 for now. And then now I'm looking at their sums. Okay, so 1 plus 54 is 55. 2 plus 27 is 29. I'm just adding them together. 3 and 18 is 21. 6 and 9 is 15. So my goal is to sum to that middle number. My two factors that do that are 6 and 9. So what we're going to do, we're going to use these to split. So I'm just going to rewrite my problem. So x squared plus 15x plus 54. And I'm going to split using 6 and 9. So I'm going to say, okay, 15x is really 6x plus 9x. Then I'm going to bring everything else out. So I'm going to bring my x squared plus and my plus 54. I've split my middle term. Now I have a 4-term polynomial that I can group into 2 binomials being added together. Now I'm going to factor each group. So looking at x squared and 6x, I can factor an x out. And this becomes now x plus 6. My 9x and 54, I can factor a 9 out. And that becomes x plus 6. Interesting. And then I still have that plus sign that I bring down. So now you can see I have a common binomial. So I'm actually going to factor again and factor the binomial out. So take the x plus 6, and then look at what you're left with. You're left with an x and a plus 9. There are your 2 binomials that will multiply together will get your x squared plus 15x plus 54. All right, let's try another one. So now under the bx term, we have a second example. Okay, so I have 5x squared, 53x, and 30. So let's see, AC is now 5 times 30, which is 150. And B is equal to 53. So let's list my factors of 150. We have 2 and 75, 3 and 50, 5 and 30. I think that's good. The 2 plus 75 is 77. 3 plus 50 is 53. 5 plus 30 is 35. So my 2 factors that sum to my middle term are 3 and 50. So we're going to use those now to split. So we're going to, again, just rewrite it. 5x squared plus 53x plus 30. So we're going to split my term. So I'm going to split it to 50x plus 3x. And I'm going to bring down everything else. So my 5x squared and my plus 30. Now I have another 4 term that I can split into 2 binomials being added together. So 5x squared plus 50x, they have a common greatest common factor of 5x. That allows us to become x plus 10. (3x) and 30 as a plus 3. Well, 3 is my common factor, which again leaves me an x plus 10. I have a common factor, common binomial of x plus 10, and I'm left with 5x and a plus 3 as my other binomial. There is my solution.